Hello there, and welcome to our final talkie. As always, we'll begin with, how was that, in a general sense?
Nowhere was rather irritating. I was running about for quite some time.
Oh, well, I'm glad nowhere was irritating.
Yeah.
Thank you. So just general sort of impression of the whole thing was...
Annoying.
Too puzzle heavy. And respawning nurses are always quite fun to deal with, or nurses in rooms that were clear before. Kind of.
Yeah, 3 of them as well in one fight.
4.
Was it 4?
I think it was 4.
It was nasty. There's so many of them.
It was very maze-like as well.
I didn't have that much problem with the navigation. I just missed something. But getting around wasn't too hard once you've been around it 7 times.
Yeah. We did have quite a bit of trouble navigating that section. But, casting our memories back to what seems like so long ago now, there was the fight with Sybil.
Yeah, the fight with Sybil, throwing the red water into her eyes.
Which we left as sort of a cliffhanger, because I thought it would be quite entertaining to just have that, just as you select it, and then just cut there. So we had the first episode of you actually chucking it at her.
Yeah.
Which saves her, of course, for the ending.
Well, she didn't really accomplish much in the ending.
No, I suppose she didn't, did she?
No, she just got knocked over, then ran away with it at the end.
Perhaps that was distraction enough for Kaufman to take a shot.
Yeah, fair enough. What happens if you don't save her but save Kaufman?
Ooh, well, it's a little bit different, obviously. I can't remember exactly what happens, but I think pretty much Sybil's just removed from it.
Fair enough.
So she doesn't escape with you, and she doesn't try and help you either. I think she just quite literally dies when you kill her at the amusement park. That fight was followed by quite a long series of cutscenes, which is why we had some of the strange cutting last week.
I fell asleep during them.
Too long.
Too long.
I think it is. I think it does just go into exposition fairy mode and go, this is the plot of the game!
You find out some interesting things, because we found out that Cheryl's adopted, but in very strange fashion he picked her up by the side of the road and decided to keep her.
Yes, as he puts it, she's not his biological daughter. She is, in fact, his mechanical... No. Yeah, he found her, and they sort of raised her.
Yeah. Very weird.
And we've got the Lisa cutscene.
Which one?
The one where her eye twitches.
Oh, yes.
Suspiciously, and then you wake up in front of her. Or the other way around, I think, actually.
Going a bit crazy.
Which is for the finale moment later on. But what did you think of the Lisa story arc?
I'm not really sure what to think of the Lisa story arc. She was just sort of there, really.
Did you feel pity for her? Did you think she helped you and made a sacrifice?
I don't really think she made a sacrifice, well, knowingly anyway, because she was already, whatever she was...
Well, is she? There's the question. Is Lisa, undead?
Yeah, because you sort of get the impression, or I do, that she's dead.
Well, so she says it's like the others, so I'm guessing she's like the other nurses.
Yeah, she thinks she's dead, but she might not be. What if she's just alive and just thinks she's dead?
Was there anything could happen in the other world?
Sort of from her diary bit, it sounds very... It's probably kind of been driven crazy.
Yeah, her
So
diary was
she
like
isn't dead.
a view of the other world, wasn't it? The tops were bleeding or something, and oozing pus.
She is quite a tragic figure, but gets her revenge.
She does. She pulls Kaufman beneath the grate, because I think she blames him, because I get the impression
That he's sort of her superior, and she's going to him to not want to do her duties, which we're supposed to assume while we're taking care of the burnt up Alessa.
They were arguing in the opening scene.
It also depends on how much stock you put into the theory that Kaufman supplied her with the drug in the first place, which is also a little fan theory that goes around.
Alright.
Because yes, they are seen arguing. Actually, it makes it pretty obvious in Silent Hill Origins.
It does. They go back.
We don't know if we'll get to that.
Go back and say it, but yeah.
Now, the non-Euclidean architecture. Were you a bit worried about Cthulhu seepage?
Well, I was more worried about Nyarlathotep, to be honest. Cthulhu tends to stay underwater, be quite happy there. You only really summon him when you want people devoured.
Yeah, I mean, only if he's standing next to someone called Ian, who's strange. And other Call of Cthulhu jokes.
But you did get eaten by a tentacle.
This is true.
Yeah.
There was the Cupboard of Death and Blood.
They didn't really tell you what to do with that. They didn't give you hints.
No, I think we ended up telling you.
Yeah.
You just go, you use the rig of contract. But no, it's not obvious. Like I say, I think I mentioned it during the video, actually. I needed help with that. So I asked an elder sibling, which was quite embarrassing, because when the game came out, I wasn't that young. It was quite puzzle heavy as well, the area.
It was. Trailing after key after key after key. A lot of it felt just like filler.
It wouldn't be unfair to say it was quite tedious and quite a time-wasting part.
I think the only thing that saves it as a sequence in the game is the atmosphere and the music, which are very good. And they do throw in the sneaky sort of... I wouldn't describe it as a whole new enemy, but the invisible grey children was certainly a turn-up.
I did a double take when I first saw one of those. I thought, that's not making the noise of the normal bang, 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 bang.
Well, I forgot about it. So when you started shooting it, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember now. But only after you actually started shooting the damn thing. So what did you think of the cutscenes that had a lesser in them? There was the room in the Nowhere's basement where you find her crying, and then there's the scene with Dahlia's mother, and also...
Dahlia's mother?
Sorry, not with Dahlia the mother.
Yeah.
And then there's the scene where they're all round the bed.
Ooh.
So what did you think of those all together?
The thing that stood out most about those scenes to me was the absolutely dire voice acting.
It wasn't great.
No, it wasn't, and it sort of ruined the mood of the scenes for me, really.
And there was Mr. Lispy there as well.
Mr. Lispy.
Or Chris Eubanks, as I think I called him. Yeah, the Order are rather strange. It's quite strange as well that they've got a completely unintroduced member there who you've never seen or heard of.
And never see or hear him again.
No.
Also, the game, it doesn't really tell you much about the Order. It just sort of... There's a strange group of people doing this for some reason. It doesn't tell you anything about them, really.
It's also revealed quite late in the story.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because there's a lot of exposition anyway. I don't think you really need to know much more other than that they're doing things with magic and it's about getting power.
Yeah, but if you want to go if you want the full story, you've got to go online and hunt it down.
Yes, I suppose it isn't actually contained within the game itself. It's just implications, hints, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it looks like you were right to trust in the Kaufman.
Trustworthy man, knew he was. Straight from the start.
Steps in at the last minute, shoots a hobo.
Saves the day.
Actually, I shouldn't say shoots a hobo. That's terrible. Don't cut that out.
No, he isn't good, but then neither's Dahlia, and there's sort of trying to hint at they were both using each other for their ends.
Only Kaufman's ends didn't involve destroying the planet.
Yes, I think that's the thing. I think they told Kaufman something else, and he felt crossed, and he went in there quite literally, guns blazing.
He actually managed to hit someone this time.
Yeah. So he can hit when he wants to.
Only old women, though.
That boss battle in the end, easy? Hard?
Easy. I had enough health kits just to stand there, tank the damage, and blast away with the rifle.
I think that's what I ended up doing as well.
We weren't saying because you'd collected so much ammo and so many health kits and you still had ampoules, there was really no problem.
Never used an ampoule in the entire game, I think.
Didn't even go down to the shotgun in the end, I don't think. It was all the rifle. I had enough ammo.
30 rifle shots took down, I think.
And I didn't check how many items we had near the end there, but I'm pretty sure we had quite a lot to spare as well.
Had about 15 health rings, about 5 or 6 health kits left, 4 ampoules, 30 shotgun shells, and whatever how many handgun bullets I had left.
A lot. Well, before we talk about the ending, when Harry was given the baby, did you think he was going to put it under his arm and run like a footballer as well, or just me? An American footballer, a rugby man.
No, I didn't think that.
Because I was
You're a
looking
terrible
at that,
person.
and I'm thinking that's just the right shape, size, and consistency to fit just under the arm, and then just leg it out the underworld, and you'll be fine. But no, he does this kind of holdy thing. So Harry is literally left holding the baby at the end. And then what did you think of the end?
Not much to go on, really. They got out. That's it.
Is that all I'm going to get from you?
Well, the world didn't end.
No, the world didn't end.
Paradise wasn't brought forth. You've been given a baby, though it doesn't make it clear that it's your daughter again.
Yes, that baby
it's the
will...
same sort of idea. It's half of her soul reborn.
No, it isn't Cheryl, is it? It's...
Well, because Cheryl and Alessa merge back into an adult grown-up Cheryl, who then gives birth to a new baby, who is sort of Alessa and sort of Cheryl. And that baby grows up to become the protagonist of Silent Hill 3. It's all very complicated.
Oh well, you've raised a child to 7. Do the hard part all over again.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun. So what did you think of the mood? Because generally, when you finish a game and you get the good ending, it's all happiness, sunshine, and rainbows. This one, not so much.
No, well, I've got the negative ending, the worst ending before, and that was a real downer.
It's not much sadder, but it is sadder.
It was your death fantasy in a car. You died in the accident at the start.
And everyone else dies as well anyway.
Yeah, so... It was quite a bit happier, so because at least people lived. Also, going back to the mood, when you see Lisa for the last time, the music changes. And I don't think that music quite fits the mood either. Because it's sort of a smooth jazz style music, isn't it?
I don't know, I think it makes the mood.
Really?
In a sense, yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was quite sad. And then when you come out of the room, it continues, so I can see what they're going for, but it just didn't work for you.
It didn't seem right.
So that's it for the Silent Hill breakdown. We hope you enjoyed your time in Silent Hill with us, because we certainly did. And next, Silent Hill 2. As it should have been. Not how it was in the HD collection. Yeah, we're gonna do a proper version of Silent Hill 2, but we'll have an advert for that sometime later. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.